Hi, this is Greg Lane from Laser Guided Marketing, and today I'm going to talk to you about a very unique product. This will come in multiple steps, and I want to first start out and lay a little backdrop to give you an idea of why we have moved into this industry and why we know it's so important for your business and every other business on the planet. So I want to start by asking you a couple of questions. How do you, in your particular business, gain and maintain a competitive advantage in today's ultra-competitive business environment? How do you gain it, and how do you maintain it? When there's universal media buying platforms, and the same platforms are available to everyone, the little guy can compete with the big guy. The big guy can go out and try and dominate and crush the little guy. In effect, to a degree, in the world of advertising and marketing, we have a level playing field as far as access. And there's really similar pricing now becoming available to every other business too. It doesn't matter how big or how small you are, you can go out there and get better rates because there's more transparency. One of those instances is utilizing things like real-time bidding, RTB advertising. So when there's universal media buying platforms and the same pricing can be available to everyone, where everybody can serve a display ad to anybody in any location who just did a Google search, where consumers are educating themselves more than ever before buying and faster than ever before buying due to our wonderful world of the internet, because they're doing what? They're looking for the best value. So I want to ask you, what do you do in your business that actually appeals to them, that's exclusive to you, that makes you stand out from the crowd so you don't have to compete on price? Because we know competing on price is a bad way to go nowadays. People have been trying to compete on price and have been getting crushed by the giants like Amazon and Walmart. We can't afford to compete on price. We need to be the best. We need to have the best products, the best service, and we need to have something that's exclusive in order to really stand out from the crowd. Because consumers are smart. Consumers have access, and they're looking for what stands out from the crowd. So as those consumers are all over online researching, trying to figure out which company to buy from, which product to buy, which service to buy, and from whom, when they're doing their research and they're online and they're looking up everybody on those first few spots of Google and all the different places that they look, maybe realtor.com if they're looking for homes, maybe the Better Business Bureau, maybe Answers or Ask.com, maybe Cars.com, Auto Trader, Boat Trader. There's a million different places people can go depending on the product or service, right? They could be looking at Home Depot and Lowe's. When they're there looking, a lot of times people may be looking for price, but they're also looking to find out, why should I buy from you instead of one of your competitors? Really, there's a lot of different insurance companies out there. There's a lot of different real estate agencies they can buy from. There's a lot of different car dealerships. There's a lot of different businesses competing for all of these eyeballs, for all of the pocketbooks of these buyers. And they're really asking, when they're looking online, they're asking, why should I buy from you instead of one of your competitors? Where everybody can display that ad to anybody just because they did a Google search. So with our real-time bidding advertising system, you can serve banners to everybody who's done a Google search for a Mercedes C300 sedan in all of Las Vegas. And we can serve banners for that Mercedes dealer or Mercedes reseller dealer who wants to sell their Mercedes C300 cars and other cars that are similar to that or parallel to that, like a BMW. We can serve those ads for people just because they did a Google search. But we don't know whether it was a 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid who's just fantasizing and looking at the car, or whether it's somebody in school doing a research paper, or whether there was an errant type in the search box, and any one of a whole host of reasons why that Google search could have been done. But you serve the ads 1,000 at a time, and you hope for the best to get as many clicks as possible, and that's just the way that you attract business, and it works. But it's not necessarily the best way to go now, because they may have just done a Google search and it might not have been the Google search that really matters to you and your business. Because let's face it, as I said, everybody can reach anybody for about the same price. Now, while there's a small price break for our big giant advertisers who spend tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, the pricing is not that different even for the small guy nowadays. So we know that technology is empowering consumers to make better decisions faster every single day. For the first time ever, we have a service where you can finally be in control and not be a hostage to the non-transparent, subjectively priced advertising that people have been facing for years. It's helped make many people millionaires, Google pay-per-click advertising, because they've been able to profit from it. But it was a jungle to weed through, and it's subjective pricing, it's non-transparent pricing. You don't know what the people are paying that have the same eye space as you. The pricing can go up and down. They can change your quality score and make you pay more. And while it may be profitable, it may not be the best way. So never again will you be held hostage to non-transparent subjective pricing anymore, nor will you be forced to advertise to the entire crowd of people that are out there. Because we know that some people who are searching make better buyers than others. The game has changed, and it's changing faster and faster every day. So why is this happening? Basically because we are living in an exponential world. One of my favorite people to listen to is Peter Diamandis, who runs Singularity University, as well as a host of other organizations, and has some great books, one of which is referenced in the bottom there called Bold, and he talks about the 6 Ds of exponentials. It's worth reading this. If you are a business owner or in business or a sales rep or a reseller or a representative or an agent for any company on the planet, I encourage you to go out and learn this because it's important. It is taking over our world. The digitization is disrupting the world, and things are becoming demonetized and dematerialized and democratized, being available all over the planet for the same price. So there's a great deal of competition in today's world, and it's only getting bigger because of the competition, because of this age of technology, because of the speed of computing power. If you look at the list of Fortune 500 firms in 1955 versus 2014, 88% of them are gone. 88% of the top 500 companies in the world that thought they had the cat's meow and they were going to be there forever and their families were going to have billion-dollar legacies, they're gone. They're bankrupt. They were taken out by other companies. And it makes all of us better off, the consumers, because people come along with a better widget, a better mousetrap. MySpace was taking over the world, and the next thing you know, Facebook blew them out of the water. And now we've watched a whole host of other changes in the world, like Airbnb. They have more lodging inventory than Hilton worldwide, and they don't own a single hotel room. Nobody would have ever thought that's possible. Uber has more transportation nodes than Yellow Cab Taxi Company, and they don't own a single taxi. Nobody would have thought that's possible. Amazon sells more books and videos than Barnes & Noble's, Borders, Hollywood Video, and Blockbuster combined ever did. And now they sell virtually everything else too. We're living in a different world. Kodak went bankrupt because they didn't stay ahead of the digital camera trend. They didn't disrupt their own business. They weren't looking to see how they could get ahead in today's world, and they were sitting on their laurels, and they didn't move forward with the most important development they ever had, which was in the world of digital photography. And who comes along and capitalizes on it? Instagram, which sold for $1.2 billion in April of 2012, all based upon digital photography trends. And I believe there were only 13 people running that company at the time. Pretty amazing. So whether we know it or not, every company is at risk of being marginalized and even bankrupted by new players that can move faster and maybe be a little smarter, that know how to enter and penetrate a market better than you do. That's the risk we all face. And a new secret weapon has just been unleashed on the US marketplace that is going to disrupt things even faster. And you're about to find out what this new weapon is and how you can take advantage of it before your competition does. Again, my name is Greg Lane, and I want to invite you to continue on to the next segment.